Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the next part. I'm Wakar Ahmad. And the part, if this is the series of conditionals type, yet in today's video, I'm gonna discuss some more usages of if, some advanced points about if, right? We have already done 4 video lessons on if. Particularly, beginning 3 lessons were about first, second, and third conditionals, while the fourth one was only on the usages of if. Right now, so let's start off with the first one. If should can be used in if clause as well. I'm sorry, right? And so happen to can as well. And why and how can we use it? We particularly or mainly use should with if or in if clause or happen to in if clause to suggest that something is unlikely or very improbable in future, right? Or maybe is not probable in future, right? Particularly improbable. Now, if you should meet Ahmed, tell him that I miss him. So obviously this makes future sense here, that if you second person, if you happen to meet, if you go and you come across Ahmed, so convey my message to him. This is the first typical sentence of this one usage. If you meet, if you should meet Ahmed, tell him that I miss him. So here I have used should in if clause, right? And we can also use happen to. If you happen to meet Irtiza, tell him that I miss him. All the wordings are the same even in second typical sentence, with the exception of change of the name, right? I have changed Ahmed and into Irtiza. So the sense, both sentences make the same, right? That here we are saying that if you happen to meet, if you come across Ahmed, convey my message to him that I miss him, right? So both make the similar meanings. While in the third one, this is also possible that we use happen to as well as should in the same if clause. And here is the example. If you should happen to meet Rafi, tell him that I miss him. Here I have used together should together with happen to in the if clause, right? And meaning is still same. First, if you should meet Ahmed, tell him that I miss him. Second, if you happen to meet Ahmed or any other name, tell him or convey my message that I miss him. And the third one, there is combination of should plus happen to. Now second one, would, using would in both clauses is also possible, right? Would in both clauses. Specifically, it happens in America, in spoken American English, not very common, or it's not at all used in written English, but is used in typically in spoken American English. I have written here, not in written English, common in, this is common in American spoken English, right? Not in written. Keep that in your mind. It would be good if we would, this is the contraction of we would, right? If we would get some rain. It would be good if we would get some rain. So here you could look at the would in both the clauses. First if clause, second in main clause as well. Now the third one, apostrophe and D, have. Even would have, here we used only would in both clauses, while here we have used would have in both clauses, right? And we use contraction, not full form. And when can we use full form of this would have? I'm gonna tell you that in a minute as well, inshallah. Apostrophe D, have something, then apostrophe D, have something else. In informal spoken English, if clauses referring to past are sometimes constructed with apostrophe D, would plus have. By this I mean would have, right? but it is considered incorrect. It is frequently considered incorrect, but it is also found in the speech of some educated people as well, right? So the typical sentence, very good sentence to reflect this usage, is this one: if I would have got there, if I would have gone there, right? Reached there. By that, got can get can be used for these purposes as well, or for these meanings as well. If I would have got there, comma, must put a comma, I would have rescued those people. I would have rescued them, right? Must. This is, I'm again saying, this is common in spoken English, not in written English. Now, the last one usage of if in for today's video lesson is full forms are sometimes used for emphasis, EMPHASIS. Although I have written very small SIS, you must try to figure out what I have written. Now, or in negatives. In negatives or for emphasis, we can use even the full forms of such contractions like would have in both clauses. And here are examples. If I would have had a gun, if clause with would have, right? Although according to third conditional, we should have used here past perfect tense in if clause, right? If I would have had a gun, somebody might have got hurt. This is the example that has genuinely been taken from or extracted from the real world conversation of the people, right? This has been extracted from the conversation of people. So this is genuine example. This is real world conversation example taken from that. What is the sentence and what does it go like? If I would have had a gun, had, have, would in if clause. See, somebody might have got hurt. So here I have discussed some more usages of if, and typically I have talked more about would usage in if clause in today's video. And so I would like to just keep this video lesson until here, and inshallah, hopefully I'm not making any promise, as there are many other usages of if. So I do have intention to do some more video lessons on if, maybe one or two, but I'm not making any promise. Just to get notified, you'll have to stay tuned, right? So that's all from my side, inshallah. See you in the next video lesson. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.